Despite their injuries and foul trouble in Game 1 and 2, number 1 in the Eastern Conference, the Atlanta Hawks have been able to pull off taking a 2-0 lead over the Brooklyn Nets in their first round of the playoffs. Expert handicapper Ross Benjamin joins us now to break down Game 3 and give his predictions on the game. Ross, thanks so much for being back with us.
Oh, I appreciate it very much. Off to a good start in the NBA playoffs here at SBR, going 6-4. So let's pick up the winning even more right here, Megan.
I love that attitude, Ross. All right, and as I said before, Atlanta has been able to pull off a win in Games 1 and 2, but that's not all we're looking at here, is it, Ross? The Hawks are also 0 for 2 against the spread in those 2 games. Now, this game, Ross, stands just at -2.5 point spread in favor of the Hawks on the road in Game 3. And listen to this, the Hawks and the Nets have gone under in both of their first 2 games, their highest total being 191, and the total for this game tomorrow night is at 201. These lines seem a little bit funky to me, Ross. So what do you think? What's your selection for us in Game 3?
Well, those are some pretty astute observations, Megan. I mean, yeah, the Hawks did win both games 1 and 2, as you alluded to, and as you also alluded to, they failed to cover in each game. You look at this series, Atlanta has won all 6 meetings this season versus Brooklyn, including those first 2 games of this playoff series. They won the first 3 by very decisive margins, winning by 11 points or more each time. But in the last 3 encounters, the victory margins were just 3, 7, and 5 points respectively. And Brooklyn has showed fully capable of playing with Atlanta in the first 2 games of the series and came very close to escaping with a win in Game 2. You look at Atlanta, they're a dismal 2-6 in their last 8 games on the road, while the Brooklyn Nets have gone 7-2 in their last 9 at home. And you also made the observation on the total, and it's a good one. I mean, you look at Game 1 of this series, it was 204.5. It went to 202.5 in Game 2, and now the current number for Game 3 is 200.5. In the first 2 games of this series, going under the total, as Megan already touched upon, but they did so by a whopping combined 28 points. So there's been some low-scoring affairs early on, and Atlanta is making this that's Brooklyn is making this a much tougher series on Atlanta than a lot of people have anticipated. I like the Nets here in Game 3 over Atlanta +2.5.
All right, Ross, I like those predictions, but hopefully the Hawks will be able to take a win here, as they are my team. All right, you heard it first from one of the best in the business, Ross Benjamin, offering up his free picks on Game 3 of the Hawks versus Nets opening playoff series. Let us know what you think about this game, who you're backing in this game. Give us your picks, your comments, your questions. You can find us on Twitter at SBR Sports Picks, hit us up on Facebook at Sportsbook Review, or just simply comment below this video for all the best selections on the NBA playoffs. Keep it locked right here with us at Sportsbook Review.